Hey guys, Miss Davis here, and this is our Introduction to Division video for 5th grade. So next week we're going to start talking about whole number division. Hopefully some of these review how you guys have learned to multiply, or how you guys have learned to divide, sorry. I know a lot of you guys are using the Big 7 method, which we're going to use for this problem, and then I'm going to kind of show you what the 5th grade will teach you, which we call the box method. So the first problem that we're going to do, and sorry if you hear squeaking behind the door, it's just Dirks with his toys. 768 divided by 4, and there's a few things that I want to talk about. So in division, we have two different problems. We have two different parts. We have the dividend, which is the first number. It's going to go inside of your division box, and then you have your divisor, which it goes on the outside. You also have the quotient, which is the answer to a division problem as well, which we're going to get there as we solve. When I go to set this problem up for the Big 7, you guys will have 768 on the inside and 4 on the outside. If I look at this problem, I need to figure out what I can multiply 4 by in order to get close to 700. So if I think about 4 times 10, well, 4 times 10 is 40, so I can get a lot closer to 700. What about 4 times 100? So 4 times 100 is 400. What about 4 times 200? What's 4 times 200? Well, that's 800, so that's too much. So I'm going to start first with multiplying by 100, and 4 times 100 is 400. When I subtract here, I'm going to have 8 minus 0 is 8, 6 minus 0 is 6, 7 minus 4 is 3. Now I need to look at this problem and figure out, okay, what can I multiply 4 by in order to get close to 368? I can't do 100 again because 4 times 100 is 400. Okay, so I've got to think of something else. If I think of half of 100, that's 50. So 4 times 50, well, I know 4 times 5 is 20, and I add a 0 to that, so that'll give me 200. So that works. I can subtract there. I would get 8, 6, and 1. So now I've got to think, I can't do it by 50 again. That would be too much. So can I multiply by 20? Can I multiply by 20 in order to get there? So 4 times 20 is 80. Well, that gets me close. Can I get closer? So what about 4 times 30? Well, 4 times 3 is 100. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 30 is 120. So that gets me close. Think about 40. 4 times 40. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. I put a 0. That's 160. So that gets me closest. I can multiply by 40. That's 160. I subtract. Now all I have is that 8. Well, how many times can I multiply 4 to go into 8? Well, 4 times 2 is 8. So I would be able to subtract here and get 0. Now, all I would have to do is add all of these numbers up over here on the side, and I'm going to do that right here. So 100, 50, 42, add those up, and I get 192. So the answer, or the quotient to this problem, is 192. All right. Now, I'm going to use the same problem, but I'm going to show you how we're going to teach you in 5th grade to do it. So in 5th grade, we're going to show you the box method. And you're going to set it up just like this. 768 goes on the inside, 4 goes on the outside. First thing I have to ask myself is, how many times can 4 go into 7? I know that 4 can go into 7 one time because 1 times 4 is 4. I subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. I bring it up and over. That gives us 36. 4 can go into 36 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. and when I subtract, I get 0. I bring that 0 up and over. How many times can 4 go into 8? It can go in there 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. I subtract and get 0. With this strategy, we use something called Does McDonald's Sell Burgers to help us. D stands for divide, M stands for multiply, S stands for subtract, and the B stands for bring over. And you can see where I do each of those steps in the problem. How many times can 4 go into 7? That's my divide. 1, it can go in 1 time. 1 times 4, that's my multiplication, is 4. 7 minus 4, that's my subtraction, is 3, and then I bring the 3 over. And I continue that step however many times I have boxes. All right, so now we're going to look at a different problem. We're going to move up to a 4-digit by a 1-digit. So I'm going to do 1,974 divided by 6. So this time I'm going to solve it using my box method that I just showed you. I'm going to need 4 boxes on the inside. 1,974 is going to go on the inside and 6 is going to go on the outside. I have to start again with my strategy. So D, divide. Can 6 go into 1? If I have one thing, can I make a group of 6? No. So that becomes a 0. I multiply. 0 times 6 is 0. Now I'm subtracting. 1 minus 0 is 1. And now I'm bringing over. Okay, I start all the way over again from the top. Can 6 go into 19? Yes. If I have 19 things, how many groups of 6 can I create? Well, I can create 3 because multiply 3 times 6 is 18. 19 minus 18 is 1. That's my subtraction, and now I bring that 1 over to my 7. Start all the way back at the top again. How many times can 6 go into 17? Well, if I have 17 things, how many groups of 6 can I make? So 6 can go into 17 2 times because 2 times 6 is 12. That's my multiplication. 17 minus 12, my subtraction is 5. I bring the 5 over. Starting all the way back up at the top again. How many times can 6 go into 54? Well, 6 can go into 54 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54. I subtract, get 0. I have nowhere to bring it over now. I'm finished with the problem. So my quotient for this problem is going to be 329. Now, sometimes you will have a remainder, and sometimes there may be a number left there, and that's totally fine. That just means that you have a remainder. I think a lot of you guys worked with remainders in 4th grade. We're going to continue to practice this, and next week we're going to start getting into 4-digit by 2-digit division. In 5th grade, that's what you have to master, but you will see more of that next week when we start practicing with that skill. All right, so please let me know or ask your teacher if you have any questions.